Hello and welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. This is part 2 of a 2-part mini series I've made showing my appreciation to Spyderco and really just talking about their knives, why I like them so much and why they got me into YouTube, why they got me into making YouTube videos. Alright, so we'll go straight in where we left off. I was talking about the materials that they use and how they use many exotic materials and the quality of the materials that they use. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We've got here obviously the FRN, the handle scales. Excellent handle material, very strong, very lightweight. And then we compare it to another knife, this CRKT design number 5, which is roughly the same price. Alright, already straight away the UKPK is lighter, it's got better blade steel, it's more comfortable, and well, in my opinion that's a nicer pocket clip. Both legal. You can deploy the Spyderco easier than Liang Ma in its current form anyway. I know many people, Yo-Yo Boy, he's it's cut part of the scales, but you shouldn't have to. You see, it shouldn't get to that stage where you design a knife, it's production, and then it's out to the public, and then they play with the knife, and then they think, how did it get past that? How can I not deploy the knife because of the cutout? You can't make the handle scale so that it sacrifices the deployment of the knife. That's ludicrous. In my opinion, because the Spyderco, the whole is just well designed. It's designed within that choil area really of the scale. It's not, they haven't put the hole going over the choil there. They've put it in a place where you can put your thumb and you can deploy the knife. Both of these knives, similar prices, but it just goes to show you, no disrespect to Liang Ma himself or CRKT as a company, but it just goes to show you how much further ahead Spyderco are from, I'd say, the competition. Some people may not say the competition, some people may love CRKT knives, and this isn't a bashing session. They may love them, they may always buy them, even if a lot of them are made in China now. Alright? But it just goes to show you that comparison with the materials used, the pricing, and just the overall design compared to both of them. All right. Well, I'll show you another comparison. All right. We'll show you this one between the Spyderco Tenacious and the Kershaw Skyline. Again, just the size of the materials used. There's a lot more going on with the Tenacious. The Tenacious, in my opinion, has better G10, but that's debatable. It has a much thicker liner lock, although that shouldn't really affect that much of a difference. And the blade steel, yes, it is undoubtedly better on the Skyline, but even the Skyline isn't safe from the bead blasted induced rust, as I have seen. Alright, but look at that pocket clip. It's just awful, but again, it's just my opinion. Many people would love that pocket clip, but again, look at how high they ride in the pocket. With the Spyderco, it doesn't ride as high as it needs to. Look at where the pocket clip is. It runs so close to the butt of the handle scale. And look at the Kershaw. Why couldn't they put it just a bit higher, or incorporated in this this scale screw, or do something similar to that? Okay. But these are very similar prices here in the UK. The Kershaw Skyline's actually a bit more expensive, but again, I thought I'd just compare these two because of the designs and the materials used. They're both very good knives. But it just seems to me that Spyderco, with their designs, they always go that one step further. they always cover all of their bases. For instance, yes, the Skyline, sleek straight line there, but again, what's holding that knife in place is actually these kind of little thumb studs that rest in the handle scales. Look at the Spyderco has an extra, design step that stops the blade going further with that stop pin. All right, they're both liner locks, but that's the way the Spyderco knife stops. It's got jimping there and on the thumb ramp and on the choil. Skyline's only got a little bit of jimping that isn't really that effective because of the way the flipper acts as a finger guard anyway, and then there's nothing on the top. So, I mean, put it this way, what would you improve with this Spyderco? It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. A lot of the time, with many Spydercos, the thing to improve is the blade steel or the colour. And even then, when I talk about colours, Spyderco don't have to bring out Delicas and Enduras and things in lots of different colours. Yes, they're a business and these are high selling knives, but they don't have to do any of that. They could just put them all out in black. But with Spyderco, they kind of reverse engineer that thought process in they will take a gamble and they will release all kinds of colours and blade steels and shapes and things like that. And then when they've had a taste of what's popular and what's not, what they will actually do is they will actually then bring out the knives in the black FRN. So they'll do that last. Whereas a company like Kershaw or Burka will bring out black. Why? Because black is a safe colour. It's safe in the knife world. It's safe in the community. But I would much prefer lots more colours. All right. Grey can be a little bit dull. All right. Let's face it. Grey can be a bit dull, and that's why when Spyderco, when I heard Spyderco were bringing out the UK PK with a flat grind, I was thinking, oh, excellent. Please, you've got to have it in a British Racing green with ZDP 189. I mean, that would sell like hotcakes. I tell you not. Full flat grind with the UK legal design on this in ZDP 189 or H1 steel, that would sell like hotcakes. All right, but alas, that hasn't happened, and instead we've got the same knife, but with black scales. Why? I'm not complaining or whining or anything like that, but surely if this sold well, you would think that they would bring it out in more colours. Maybe they will, but in this case they didn't, and I was a little bit disappointed by that decision, but hopefully they'll release a UK PK with different colours and blade steels and things like that. They used to have a titanium handle scale version with S30V. I don't know how popular that was, but put it this way, you can't get them anymore. So I would say that they were very popular if they had all sold out. Anyway, the point I'm obviously trying to make is Spyderco don't have to do any of that. Like I say, they could bring out everything in this boring black colour, a sea of black G10 everywhere in my whole knife collection. I mean, please, somebody, sorry about the loud click, but somebody please just tell me if you've ever seen a Cold Steel Recon handle scale other than black. It's difficult to think of one, isn't it? But yeah, black is a safe colour, but there's just so much of it around, so much. And the more black knives you have, the more I think that they're intimidating, really. Not saying that black is intimidating, I'm just saying that, come on, this is surely a lot more intimidating than something like that Delica there. Which is more intimidating? It's certainly more tactical, but for a knife enthusiast, someone that's never seen a knife before, that is a lot more threatening than just something with a bright, vibrant colour. And people get offended so much these days that the more colours and funky shapes and things, like this Spyderco squeak, that's not very threatening. But imagine how less threatening it would be, even with, you know, a different colour. They brought out a breast cancer awareness one, I believe, that's pink. I mean, come on, that's the least threatening colour you can think of, really. But the point I'm trying to make is knife companies, they don't really help situations by bringing out full black knives all the time when there's so many people that get offended and so many people think it's their right to, you know, phone the police or whoever to come and protect them from somebody's knife. It's a lot less threatening if you've got different colours of knives. In my opinion, it's a basic kind of fear. I would think of something that looks, you know, tactical looking, that looks like it's meant to hurt people, rather than just a really vibrant office type colour knife. I mean, the UK PK isn't too bad in the grey, but if it had, you know, the dark blue of the Union Jack, or if they had an all white version or a red version, a really nice rich red, then, you know, that would sell like hotcakes. It really would. And I do think colours sell. Look at these Delicas and Endurers. They sell. A lot of knife enthusiasts, if you check out Cajun Blazer's channel, he's got a few different coloured Delicas and Endurers. So has Wayne Colt 45. So is X-Acto even. I mean, colours sell. They really do. Because people, knife collectors, are so bored and so kind of frustrated with just having the standard black and the black G10 all of the time that they scream out for new colours. And when you opt to buy a Spyderco or a knife in digital camo pattern, and you know that it's unique because that they cut the sheet off at certain points so that digital camo pattern handle scales that you receive is the only one, then yeah, they'll jump over head over heels for them as well, because, you know, it's very attractive to know that you've got a colour that isn't just the standard black G10 that anybody could get, but it's actually a G10 that's unique. You know, it's not only is it a different colour, but it's also unique to your knife. It's only your Spyderco or your knife that will have that blade steel handle scale. I'm just looking around for my military just to show you the difference. Look at the difference in the handle scales, just to further prove my point that they are different. And if I went out and bought another military tomorrow, it might have even darker handle scales. It might be lighter than the paramilitary. But that's the point I'm trying to make, that people like more colours in their knives. Right, that's the kind of handle materials and things like that. Just talk a little bit about designs, all right, and then just a quick ending note on quality control. Spyderco Designs. Yes, Burka do have some very good designs out there. Very good. Let's talk about a few of those first. Firstly, Burka Trans 42, Chad Losbot Banos design. Again with the Subcom 42, another excellent design, quite well executed as well with the 440C and the titanium scales. And this is an excellent design knife with the kind of reverse tanto or modified tanto blade shape. If they produce this with an all G10 handle scale and better steel, then that would sell more. And even this Titan drop with titanium handle scales and 440C is an excellent blade design. It's very nice shapes and curves, a little notch there to help you with the sharpening, comfortable, good to hold. Burka have some excellent designs in their knife lineup. From the people in Germany, from Chad Los Banos to Vox Anzo. you name it, they have some good designs, but a lot of the time they're poorly executed. Okay, poorly, and because they're made in China, not knocking China, but they try and they get a good design and then they go and get them made in another country and things like that. Spyderco are a little bit different. They've got a good design. They've got many good designs that are designed by Mr. Salglesser himself, and then he won't then go and ship that out to China and make a load of paramilitary twos on his design. Okay, if he's designed them, he'll make them in America. Okay, and again, this the Spyderco Delica and Endurers, designed by Spyderco, they're made in Seki City, Japan. So in terms of designs, I haven't really seen that many bad designs, and I haven't seen that many excellent designs made in a cheaper way, if you see where I'm coming from. That this Spyderco Sage 1 is one of the best designed knives I've ever come across in terms of a pocket knife, in terms of where everything is and the quality control. But they don't make it in a cheap place. They make it in Taichung, Taiwan, all right, which is renowned for making very good knives. Some would say better than Japan, Seki City, and some would also say better than Solingen in Germany. So that's a nicely designed knife made in a decent place. So they pick and choose where they want to make their knives. Another knife that I've recently just purchased, this Spyderco Sprint Run Goddard, Wayne Goddard, designed by Wayne Goddard, came out years and years ago, but Spyderco asked him and decided to do a sprint run on this knife. I've used this quite a lot at this point, and I can tell you again, it's made in Seki City, Japan. So another example of an excellent design knife made in a decent place, with good materials and excellent quality control. So we'll just talk about Kershaw in a little feature. Kershaw have some good design knives. We've got here a Kershaw Skyline. That's made in America, but again, that could be slightly better designed with all of the things I've mentioned. We've got a Kershaw Cryo, kind of like the Rick Hinderer kind of design. What did they do though? They made that in China. If that was made somewhere else, it'd probably be the same, but you get a lot less defects maybe. Or maybe it's just Kershaw's quality control issues, you know, similar to Burka's. And finally, you get something like a CRKT Swindle, which again is an excellent design by Mr. Ken Onion there, but I don't think that that's made in America. I think that is made in China. So unfortunately, a lot of these other knife companies, you just got to check them out. All right, you got to do your research, got to do your homework, and check them out. Say, look, it's a Spyderco Squeak, but it's made in Maniago, Italy. Good place. A lot of the knife companies nowadays will try and make their knives as cheap as they possibly can, regardless of the design. Their knife design could be absolutely incredible, but what they will do is they will try and cheap out by, you know, making it in a place that is the cheapest. Spyderco, in my opinion, aren't really like that. They will take a good design and they will go, right, Mr. Goddard, thank you for your design. We're not going to just ship this out to China and just mass produce them like Tenacious Scissors or Ambitiouses and things like that. We're actually going to make it in a decent place. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is it wouldn't really matter that much where Spyderco chose to make those particular knives, because they have all their quality control in place and their continuous quality improvement. It would be, you know, it would be fine wherever they they produced it, because it would still be of a very, very good quality. And that's what it boils down to, guys and girls. You want to buy a knife and you want to buy the best in terms of production knives. Why choose anything else other than Spyderco? That is my question to you. Why? They are the best at what they do. They are an excellent American company. They go above and beyond what a company should do or need to. So their ethic, their motivation, their responsibility to the knife community, to knife collectors worldwide, is outstanding. We do make knives in the UK. There's not that many. There aren't many big makers, but it would be up to a US knife company to design a UK legal to carry knife in America and then make it in America. Alright? And that's not so much of a problem as what's going on here in the UK and why can't we pull our finger out. It's more of a case of American ingenuity and American forefronting in making excellent products, designing them, and then using homegrown workforce and labour to then build on that. And that's another excellent reason why Spyderco is my favourite knife company, and they always will be. Alright, I believe in them, and I'm sure you will too. If you've got many Spyderco knives, because of my videos or because of Nut and Fancies or cutlery lovers, whoever, all I can say is that that's not a bad thing, because you've bought the best, in my opinion, from a company that continually listen and improve their products. Anyway, that's the end of my part 2. I don't work for Spyderco, but I thought I'd make these two videos to show my appreciation, because just to give something back to Spyderco in a way, other than my money, because they were the people, the company that motivated me because of their designs and because of their excellent knives, to get me into YouTube and get me posting and get me on the review side of things. Anyway, thanks Alglessa, thank you Spyderco, keep doing what you're doing, and we all look forward very much to more of your products in the future. Anyway, to all you guys and girls, thanks very much for watching. Please do comment, rate and subscribe. Put your comments below. Talk about your experiences with Spyderco. Don't put Spyderco sucks or anything like that. That just doesn't help. But please do put, yeah, I've had a Spyderco 10 years, never had a problem, or put something like, I found a Spyderco 2 years after I lost it and it still is excellent. Those are the excellent comments I want to hear. But anyway, thanks again. Take care.